Hello everyone and welcome back to Antique and Garden Showcase. My name is Mark and I'm glad that you're here today. Today we're going to follow up on the sunflower garden idea that I've had for the last couple of videos, and we're going to talk more about the hillside garden. And if we look right up here, this is the hillside garden right behind me. So I want to talk to you about why that exists, how that came to be, and how we continue to use that part of this property today, and why I'm going to change that into a sunflower garden this year. I'm looking to get back into some antique content here soon. It's been heavy on gardening. Of course, that's what happens in the springtime around here, heavy on gardening, and then with the crazy weather that we've had, and every other gardener that you've seen on TV and YouTube has had, it's been a strange spring, up and down cold, crazy amounts of rain, hot, humid, dry spells. It's just, we've had just about every flavor of springtime that we could possibly have this year and tried to get through it all. So I've looked at a lot of different auctions out there this spring, and nothing has really caught my eye. There are a couple of estate sales coming up that I'm watching right now, and if I decide to go, I'll take you along on those with me. I've got some other ideas kind of brewing, maybe some little short trips, and we'll look at those a little later on. But for right now, let's go take a look at the hillside garden and learn more about that space. So I was at a bit of a loss on what to do for the video this week, and I know I've been talking about the sunflower garden quite a bit and the hillside garden. Well, here's a little bit about the hillside garden. When we moved into this house back, I guess it was 1984, the end of this driveway where these drains are now was all washed away. There was no hillside here. There's a natural spring that runs underneath this driveway, so water kind of just trickles out. So we had to have that filled in, and we had it filled in with a dump truck load of rock, several dump truck loads of dirt, smoothed over and whatever, and had this hillside terraced, and had these burning bushes here put in to kind of hold that back, and then used railroad ties at that time were the quickest and easiest thing to put in, and we've just kind of kept those up, and you can see those along the back here. So this garden, I call it the hillside garden because if you walk over to this side, you can see just how steep it really is. I mean, there's a nice drop off. It's why I put this fence in here. I was afraid, some kid or something was going to just literally fall off the edge of this. So this was kind of a safety thing as well as a decorative thing here. And you can see the lower portion down there where I have the mill wheel and other things. That's actually 2 steps down farther than this. So let's take a look at that. Go around this way. I do have a red dogwood here, which we're passing by. And as you can see, it's all kind of just stepped in with railroad ties. And these have to be replaced ever so often because they do rot and deteriorate. As you can see, this one right here is getting close to being on its way out. But if we look up here, you can see that that's not just one railroad tie, that's several thick. And they're actually held in place by T-posts that I've got spray painted black there, so you can't really tell they're in there, but they provide the support for those to hold that back in that area. So there's the fence up there, so you can really start to tell how steep this is when you get down here. It kind of comes to a point up there. Weeping cherry tree has been here for about as long as this hillside's been built, and it's gone through several rough patches. It got hit by cicadas one year and they literally destroyed it. It had to all be cut back. It got hit by an ice storm one year and it broke off all the branches and it had to get cut back. But it's very stable. I mean, you can see, look at the roots on this tree. It's not going anywhere, and it really holds into where this water spring, comes out there. So it's well fed with water all the time. But anyway, as we keep going down, you see how this just keeps getting higher and higher as we go on down this hill. And we're on the lower portion now, which needs to be weeded really bad. That's on the list of things to do. And now we're down at the mill wheel portion. So up there, way up there, that's where the sunflower garden is going to be. So that's a little bit about the hillside garden and how it came to be. So I'm going to show you what I have for plans for that garden now. So back up here on top of the hill, we're going to take a look at this. One of the things I'm going to do first is the fence actually needs to be leveled. This has a tendency to shift and sink a little bit up here. I mean, you can see why because of the elevation now. So I'm going to, this is just a simple fence that pops in by just stakes in the ground, and it just needs to be adjusted up. It needs to be filled in and kind of bit brought back up in this corner just a bit. So before I do anything else, I'll have to do that. Got to get all the weeds cleaned out and whatever else. This does have landscape fabric underneath of it, and I'm still messing with the idea of, do I want to keep it, do I want to get rid of it? I like it for a couple of reasons here. It does help me a bit with the backside behind this fence and underneath of it, and I may leave it there. It does help me under these rocks. Now, these rocks are native to Kentucky. These are Kentucky geodes, and a friend of mine at one of the stores I work with helped me find these rocks. We actually went on a little expedition and went into a creek and pulled these really pretty rocks out that are covered with a lot of grass after I mowed today. So really pretty colors. They're kind of reddish, orangey, yellow. Some of them sparkle. Some of them may have a bit of agate in them. You know, they're interesting rocks, and they make a really pretty border here. So I got those and put those in there. The plan here is to take the largest sunflowers, and if you watched the video the other day, I had the sunflowers in order. Those are actually coming up. I may show those to you here in a minute. The largest ones are going to go along the back, so I'll probably put 3 in here, 2 in here, because we do have the hedge that cuts off right here. So I'm going to do a little trimming on the weeping cherry to get it back behind the fence, or above it anyway. And then I'll come forward and I'll probably do the next level of sunflowers around there. Come forward more, the next level, finally out to the lowest level of sunflowers. This pot I put together the other day, it was Candyland caladiums. They were on a clearance shelf at Lowe's, and some of the proven winners verbena, I found 4 of them on the clearance shelf at Lowe's. So this is literally my the scraps from Lowe's Garden Center that I put together in this pot, which I think looks really good. It's really a pretty color. So this is going to be moved out to this front corner. So it's going to be the lowest point. And then I may do a row of queen lime zinnias behind that, the teddy bear sunflowers behind that, and then step right on up. So that's the plan for this garden, in case you're kind of wondering. I may have not made that clear, but it is a neat space. It's probably, I'd say it's like close to 8 by 10 in size. So it's about the size of an 8 by 10 area rug. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here, and I'll show you the sunflowers now, how they're coming along. Okay, so here is the status of the sunflowers so far. The mammoth ones, looks like I have all of them up except for 1. So I do have 6 there, which is probably 1 more than I need, but I planned ahead because I didn't know what those would do. The evening sun, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I planted 7 of those. I have 4 up, and 3 that are not. So kind of almost a 50-50 on that one. The next one, I had the plum, which was one from Johnny's Seeds, I believe. I do have 4 of the 7 up on that, so another 50-50. The autumn beauty, which is in here. I think some of these have gotten mixed up. There's a few. That autumn beauty did not come up. This one did. That one did. The lemon queens, I put 5 of those in there. I'm at 0. I have not had any of those come up, which is really kind of shocking because those were brand new seeds. And the teddy bear seeds were old. They were probably 2 years old, so I planted 2 per cup on those just to make sure I might get something. And I think just about all of those came up. At least 1 per pot, so I think every pot of teddy bears is up. The red and lemon, I planted 2, 3, 4, 5. I planted 5, and I only have 3 of those up. So another 50-50. I don't know, it's kind of like 50-50 on these sunflowers. And I put them out here on the wall today so they would be warm, they would be in the sunshine and out from those grow lights. I just wanted them in there so they would germinate because I didn't want my seeds to be lost or eaten by squirrels, chipmunks, and birds. But it's funny, the germination rate's pretty weird on some of these. You know, mammoth was good, teddy bear was good. The colors and in between, pretty much 50-50, or the lemon queen, 0. And I think by now, pretty much everything should be up, you know, especially being out on this wall on a warm, nice day like today. So I may go with what I've got and not worry about it, because that space is pretty small over there and this is probably enough for it. But I really would like to have seen the lemon queen at least. Maybe I'll stick a couple of those in and just see if I can get some in the packet to germinate. And now, after a weekend of hard work and maintenance, the fence has been straightened up in the corner. The trees have been trimmed up above the fence. It's all been cleaned up, weeded, remulched, leveled out, rocks cleaned out, and the planter has been moved to the front corner. So the next step will be getting zinnias in behind here, teddy bear sunflowers behind there, next level sunflowers all the way up to the mammoth, which are coming up tall and behind. So just waiting on the sunflowers and flowers at this point, but everything is finally cleaned up around the Hillside Garden. Thank you for watching Antique and Garden Showcase. Glad you're here, and be sure to like and comment and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you'd like to see notifications when things come out. I typically follow a Wednesday, Saturday schedule. I've been a little bit off here lately, but I will put in the community tab if I'm not going to post that day and when I plan on posting again in the near future. So with the weather the way it's been, I've kind of had to alter things just a bit to get a lot of the things taken care of around here. As you can see behind me, all the hedge has been trimmed, all the boxwood's been trimmed, everything's been mulched. So a tour might be in order pretty soon, because everything's almost 100%, or as close as it's going to get to 100%. So as always, thank you for watching. You have a wonderful afternoon, evening, week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.